the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. 'Cause this is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bleacher Report. I am your host, TD from tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know that we are live every Wednesday evening right here on Bleacher Report. Listen, we got a little bit to discuss. We're going to talk all things Miami Dolphins latest news. But this week's main topic is going to be, can the Miami Dolphins turn Zach Wilson into a franchise quarterback? We're going to break that down and more right here, right now, all right? Again, hit that fire button, comment in the chat. And if you're live with us right now, make sure you comment in the chat because I will be reading some of the chat as well, all right? Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. Let's start out first and foremost. Miami Dolphins making a few more additional signings, whether they be practice squad guys or guys that can be backups. I know that we just signed one guy, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Greer. I think his name is Gay, if I'm not mistaken. We'll talk about that too. But I want to get right in on this Zach Wilson conversation, okay? A lot of people don't want to have this conversation. A lot of people don't want me to mention Zach Wilson at all. For some reason, they feel like, the mention of Zach Wilson is a threat to Tua Tagovailoa. Well, the reality is there's some strange things going on in Miami, some things that we need to start paying attention to. We need to start taking notice to some of the decisions that the Miami Dolphins have been making. One of the biggest decisions so far, it still could happen, but one of the biggest decisions so far that's very alarming in Miami is the fact that they have yet to restructure Tua Tagovailoa's contract, converting some of his base salary into signing bonus. Everybody know that we're strapped for cash. We need money, and we're broke right now. And we're trying to figure out ways to get money to sign as many valuable players as we can that can help us win this year, because this is a must-win season for the Miami Dolphins. And one way where the Miami Dolphins can get plenty of cash is by doing a restructure on Tua's contract. But they haven't done it yet. And you would think that was one of the first things they would do to get cap space. Now, I'm still not saying that they're not going to do it, but it's very telling that it hasn't been done yet. I personally believe that there has been a directive potentially at the top. If it doesn't get done, this has to be coming from Stephen Ross. It just has to be. And because what many people don't know is that when you transition base salary into signing bonus, what happens is the owner has to cut a check right then and there on the spot. So they say we could save $19 million in cap space by doing this. Stephen Ross would have to open the checkbook and send yet again another big fat check out of his pocket, hoping to receive a return from it later, to get more flexibility with cap space. So this comes out of the owner's pocket, and it still applies to the cap, but at a later date, when he hasn't received the money yet. So you know how people, when they add voidable years and things like that, the owner's cutting a check and he hasn't gotten the money for it yet. Future revenue, future profits. So this is what a lot of people don't understand. So the owner has to come out of pocket on these big deals with the signing bonuses. And that's all Stephen Ross has been doing. He's done it with Bradley Chubb. He's done it with Jalen Ramsey. He's done it with Teron Armstead. He's done it with Tyreek several times. He just keeps doing it. And I think now we've gotten to a point to where the owner might have said, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to give out more money out of my pocket for a guy that, if we're going to be transparent and honest, is unreliable. Tua Tagovailoa has been hurt 80% of the seasons he's played. He's played 5 seasons and he has missed at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 games 4 out of those 5 seasons, which is crazy. I've been saying this a lot, but it's crazy when you think about it. From a probability standpoint, there is an 80% chance that Tua Tagovailoa will get hurt this year. It's crazy to say that when you really think about it. There is a 80% probability based off of the past 5 years. He has been injured in 80% of the seasons, making the probability of injury potentially 80%. It's crazy to even think about that. And Stephen Ross is at a point, I believe, where he's mulling over, I don't want to give this money. I don't want to give this money. And I think he's giving Chris Grier a directive that said, I'm not doing any more of these signing bonuses and stuff. Maybe a few guys for the future, lower amounts, but no. You need to bake the cake with the ingredients that you have. If the cake requires 2 cups of sugar and you only have 1.5, it looks like your cake isn't going to be as sweet as it usually is. This is your mess. You got to deal with it. And I think that's what's happening. Now, something could break and Ross ends up saying, all right, I'll do it. And later on we restructure. But right now, you would think they would have already done it to make some signings, but they're going with the budget that's in front of them and maybe waiting on a post June 1st later. So with that being said, it's also an indication potentially that the Miami Dolphins just don't trust Tua Tagovailoa anymore. And this is the reason why they brought in Zach Wilson. I wasn't happy about the Zach Wilson move because I want the Miami Dolphins to bring in a backup who is going to give you the highest of chances to win. And with Zach Wilson, I'm not going to say that he's not going to give us the highest of chances to win, but he hasn't proven that he can give us the highest of chance to win. Okay? They brought in Zach Wilson because they also, it's just like Josh Rosen several years back, because there's a high probability Tua gets hurt again. And if he does, we might as well start working out guys to see if maybe there's a gem out here. There's a flower out here in this desert that we can actually allow to grow. That's what this is about. They're putting all their eggs in one basket with Tua Tagovailoa. This isn't about the backup anymore. This is about the fact that Tua, you have to stay healthy. We are not looking at this as if we need a backup quarterback. We're looking at this as if our backup quarterback is going to be our project for the future if you get hurt again, because everything we do, if you get hurt again, has to reach towards the future, not towards winning right now, because we're going to bank on winning right now with you staying healthy all season. Any injury, it's over. We're done in Miami. We're done with this attempted building. We're done. You have to stay healthy this year. I'm not worried about a backup I know is going to help us win if you go down. You just got to stay healthy. That's why the Dolphins went and got a backup that they hope that they could get something out of and maybe develop. But now that transitions into Zach Wilson himself. Can the Miami Dolphins turn Zach Wilson into a franchise quarterback? You all let me know in the chat what you think. Is it possible? Can the Miami Dolphins do what Seattle did with Geno? Can the Miami Dolphins do what the Minnesota Vikings did with Sam Darnold? Can the Miami Dolphins do what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did with Baker Mayfield? Can they do that with Zach Wilson? That is the $1 million question. Now, I know some people are going to say, pause right here. He's never going to get an opportunity to, because Tua's the starter. That's why everything is relying on Tua to stay healthy. Because if he stays healthy, then who cares if he never gets an opportunity to? But the reason why Zach Wilson, this is a perfect fit for him, is because he has the highest probability in the entire NFL to get a chance. Signing with the Miami Dolphins gives Zach Wilson the highest probability in the NFL to get a chance to become the next Baker Mayfield, the next Sam Darnold, or the next Geno Smith. That's the cold, hard reality. He has a great chance of seeing the field in Miami. Now, does he have the skill? Can anyone tell me what Zach Wilson's flaw is? Is there anyone in the chat who can tell me what Zach Wilson's biggest flaw is? I can tell you some of his strengths. I can tell you that Zach Wilson has great mobility. He has great escapability. He's athletic. He has a superior cannon arm. And at the end of the day, he's young and hungry. Now, here's what I've learned as some of his flaws. His ability to process the field post-snap. His ability to process the Sky's defenses. And you know what? To processing the field. Let's just sum it up. It's the processing the field part. Can he make every throw? He actually can. But how consistent can he? And can he process the field? That's what it comes down to. Now in Miami, with all of these weapons, he's going to see open receivers. The benefit in Miami is he has the arm to throw touchdowns deep instead of having 40-yard comeback routes like our current quarterback has. He can put the ball over the top on a consistent basis and stretch it out there even further, that next level if necessary. If the pressure's coming, he can extend plays and escape some of them. Much better than the situation we have right now. And these things could land a positive impact in Miami, but if you can't process the field in Miami, is that going to hurt you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in Miami, it's not. Because with the Miami Dolphins offense, it does not require a large amount of processing of the field post-snap. Most of Miami's offense is already predetermined before the ball is even snapped where we're going to go with the football. Because what a lot of people don't realize is even the quarterback in Miami now is not great at post-snap reading in the Sky's defense. That's the reality. But one of the biggest knocks for Zach Wilson is, can he be as accurate in this offense that it requires, which Tua Tagovailoa is exemplary in with the limited scope of what he can do. Because outside the numbers, Tua Tagovailoa is actually poor if you're looking at it from a consistent basis. And what happens in Miami right now is the fact that defenses now take away what we do well, which is the middle of the field and the quick bubble screens. And they force those pockets outside the numbers. They force you to throw in those pockets and do it consistently at a high level in which we haven't been able to do. Zach Wilson has the arm that can do it, but how consistent can he be on his accuracy on the entire field? That is the issue with Zach Wilson. So in my first conclusion, because there's another big point I want to make after this, in my first conclusion is Zach Wilson can be effective in Miami, but I don't think he can move the needle overall as much as Tua does in this system. But there's one element that we're not talking about that is a game changer for Zach Wilson. Another reason why him in Miami is actually could potentially be a match made in heaven. The perfect marriage. It's the Mike McDaniel factor. Are we going to sit here and act like Tua Tagovailoa in his first 2 years in the NFL pretty much was Zach Wilson, you could argue, without the mobility? And insert Mike McDaniel, and Tua is a totally different player. Can you imagine if Mike McDaniel can make Zach Wilson a better passer of the football, a better processor of the field, and creates a system that can better cater to what he does well? And then you marry that with the stronger arm and add on top of that the mobility. If that could happen, you would have a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa. And that's why they brought him to Miami. We don't know if we can have that, but that's why they brought him to Miami. Because if Mike McDaniel can help him improve in those areas, then he would be a better quarterback overall than Tua Tagovailoa. And with Tua's injury concerns year in and year out, this would be the perfect replacement and upgrade potentially if this were to work out. That would save Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer's job. There is a world where Zach Wilson is the Miami Dolphins starter next year at some point, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a world where Mike McDaniel rehabs him into a starting caliber quarterback who makes plays with his legs and his arm. And we have a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Geno Smith situation on our hands. Now, a lot of things have to happen for this to happen. First of all, Tua got to get hurt, which we hope doesn't happen. Second off, Zach actually has to improve under Mike McDaniel. And even if he improves under Mike McDaniel, the situation has to be right. A lot of elements have to happen for this to happen. So this isn't a stream to talk about that this is going to happen. But now I'm understanding a little better why they made this move instead of going after a better known backup veteran who can win those games when Tua goes out. Now I understand that they decided to swing for the fences and put it all on Tua to stay healthy. And if he doesn't, they are already working on something for later, even if it doesn't work, just to see if it does. That's what this is about. And if you don't understand that, let me elaborate just a little bit more. If you don't realize that there were 3, 4, 5 better options than Zach Wilson at a cheaper price, might I add. No, you can't deny that. There were 3, 4, 5, 6 plus other options at a cheaper price that have been proven to be better. And they chose Zach Wilson and at a higher amount. So this wasn't just a run-of-the-mill move. There was a strategic point being made with this move. And that's what I'm outlining for you now. That's how they're viewing this right now. They can't trust Tua, and now they're putting it on him. This is it, friend. You have this year to not only stay healthy, but play top level, or we have to move on. And no, we're not saying that Zach Wilson is our replacement and the guy that's going to be our franchise quarterback for the future, but we have to start making moves to say, hey, let's see if we can rehab this guy. Let's see if we can rehab that guy. Let's see if we can make something out of nothing because our back is against the wall. He may bust out in camp, but let's see what we can do. Maybe we got something. They're already in that mode. Can we turn a lemon into a Tesla? I don't know. That's what they're doing right now. So whether you agree with the move, whether you believe he can become something or not is totally irrelevant. The point of the matter today is the fact that this is what they're thinking right now. This is their mindset, which shows you they've run that thin with Tua's situation. That's the reality. And Zach Wilson might come in and bomb out just like Josh Rosen did. But they're in a state of mind now where they got to try everything they can. They have to search every option that they can. That's what's happening. So can the Miami Dolphins turn Zach Wilson into a franchise quarterback? We don't know. But what we do know is if he ever is going to be one, Mike McDaniel would be the one to make it happen. So this is on Mike McDaniel and Zach Wilson to come in and work hard and prove to be a legitimate quarterback in the NFL. And if the opportunity presents itself, has to go out and show it. And if it never presents itself, then Miami could develop a nice backup long-term in Miami. So time always tells, and it will on this subject as well. So y'all put in the comment section, can the Miami Dolphins turn Zach Wilson into a franchise quarterback? I understand that anything is possible, but what do you think about this? And again, let's go back to the Jets. Geno Smith, Sam Darnold were both Jets. The Jets just mess people up, man. To be quite honest with you, we don't know what we got. We don't know what we got in Zach Wilson because he was a Jet. I mean, let's not forget Sam Darnold with the Jets. Oh, my gosh. That was horrific. Could you imagine if this was a year or two removed from Sam Darnold with the Jets and we brought Sam Darnold to Miami? Everybody would be laughing. Oh, my gosh, you got Sam Darnold. But look what Sam Darnold was able to do last year. It still didn't mean he showed up in the big moment when it mattered most. But look how he was able to rejuvenate his career. And everybody and their mama would have said his career is over. And now look today. Same thing with Baker Mayfield and especially Geno. So as we continue to look at Zach Wilson as this scrub that, he's no good. Sometimes the situation you're in and the environment you're in can make all the difference. And I'm not sitting here saying it will. But we would be very foolish to just automatically write him off. That's all I'm saying. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Bleacher Report again. I just want to hear what y'all got to say. I'm gonna revisit the chat. I know a lot of people are not gonna like this conversation because it's not very positive for Tua. I get it. But this is a reality. If you want to understand the Miami Dolphins organization and what we're dealing with, this is a reality. This is what's going on in the front office. These are the conversations they're having. These are the thought processes they're having. They did not restructure Tua. On top of that, they could have gotten cheaper, better backups than Zach Wilson. That would have given us a greater chance to win based off of what we know now. And they didn't. There's something behind that, and this is what I believe it is. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Love you all. Appreciate you all. I'll see you on the next one right here on Bleacher Report. Peace. I am out. All right. Now, all my viewers on YouTube right now, Lino dropped the super chat, said, really, TD, Zach Wilson, LOL. You know what I'm listening. You know what I'm listening. You know what? You know what I'm listening. Confusing me, Lino. He's got more tools than Tua. It's arguable. Fraud Fish won't do anything with Zach Wilson. He is broken. Yeah, the point is, I believe he's broken too. But Tua was once broken. Sam Darnold was broken. Baker was broken. Geno was broken. Mike McDaniel is known to pick up the pieces. That's all I'm saying. Mike McDaniel is known to pick up the pieces and put them together and help you build your confidence. That's all I'm saying. We don't know what's going to end up happening, but time will tell. All right. Listen, man, we have the AFC East roundtable that we're going to have tonight. Also, outside of the AFC's roundtable, I'll probably be live later this evening as well. Hey, did y'all see my thumbnail for this video? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Let me know in the chat. Did you see my thumbnail for this video? I want to know in the chat if y'all seen my thumbnail on this video. Yes or no? Glenn said I did. Did you like it? It was the first thumbnail I ever made, man. Maybe not ever, but really, I tried to make it. Let me make, Richie showed me some basic stuff earlier, so I said, let me go try to make one. So it was pretty dope. That's what's up, man. It was the first one I ever made, man. For your boy proud, man. Yeah, man. Yes, not bad. I should have got better, higher quality pictures for the guys at the bottom. But yeah, it's the first one I ever made. So I'm gonna try to do thumbnails sometimes. All right. It looks like Doug did it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do thumbnails sometimes. But yeah, man, it's the first one I ever made. So I'm gonna try to put some more on the channel going forward. We try. I'm also do like a production, get the overlays and all that good stuff. We're gonna try to, get it fire over here, man. We're gonna try to make the production a whole lot better. We're gonna be working this off season. I got a lot of upgrade things I want to try to do to enhance the quality of the show. Yeah, thumbnail was fire. That's what's up, man. TD, when will you share your thoughts on the Willie signing? Willie Gay? Man, I don't even know who Willie Gay is, man. Hold on. If that's who you talk about. Willie Gay Jr.? Let me see, man. Share my thoughts on Willie Gay Jr., man. Did you give Zach number one? I didn't. Richie had that picture. He sent it to me. He said, I seen you over him in the Dolphins uniform. I said, right on, brother. Right on. Linebacker with Kansas City, then Saints. Listen, that's fine that he was with Kansas City and the Saints. I ain't never heard of Willie Gay. Okay. I ain't never heard of him. So forgive me for not being in tune. But I'm looking at him now. His first 3 seasons, he's looked like he was solid. But then that 4th season with Kansas City, he was pretty bad. He was solid in run defense, but bad. And last year, he was just horrible. Did he come off an injury or something? Because his snaps were way down last year. Matter of fact, I can see it right here. 10, 11. So he was out week 12, 13, and 14, and 18. He was out. He must have got hurt in week 4, missed week 5, came back week 6, then was limited backup week 8, limited backup week 9, limited backup week 10, limited backup, but must have got hurt again in week 11. Then was out week 12, 13, and 14. That must have been what happened. When you look at the snap counts, it tells a story. So I don't even know if he got hurt last year, but based off of the snap counts and the way it's lined up, I'm assuming he got hurt last year. I'm assuming he got hurt. Let me just look it up. Willie Gay Jr. injury. Yep, hand injury in week 5. Then inactive versus the Bucks. Exited another game versus Atlanta due to the same hand injury. Then ruled out again in the Bills game. Like, he kept trying to come back and then couldn't finish games. He kept trying to come back but couldn't finish games. Yeah. Let me see. Y'all give me 1 second. Oh, my phone dead. And my charger not in here. I don't know what happened to it. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, y'all, my bad. Had to get my phone to the wife so she can go put it on the charger. But yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. Like, this is what I be talking about, man. I don't be really having much to say when a guy, I mean, I know I create content for the Dolphins, covering the Dolphins. But I ain't gonna lie, I don't like wasting my time. I don't like wasting my time. So it's certain players I don't like really doing a whole video on and stuff like that. Just to tell you what I just told you. You know what I mean? So some of the moves we make, I don't really, if some of these guys even make the team. That's how I view it, Anything y'all want to tell me about him? Like he good or he gonna do something? Y'all let me know. Shout out to Mike, DB Flow, 716. I needed a good laugh. TD doing the Lord's work. Man, y'all need to stop hating on Zach Wilson, man. You never know, man. And he might look up and be the one that beat Buffalo. I'm just saying. He did it before. Yeah, when y'all say maybe Zach can be the next Baker Mayfield, let me know. Y'all don't watch football. Maybe well, not as bad as Wilson, Geno, or Darnold. Baker Mayfield wasn't in that bad of, like, as worse of a situation as Zach either. I know you watched that. All right, so I will be going live later tonight on this channel, so I want y'all to come through. Here's what I want to do right now. I want to go ahead and take down maybe 10 questions that I want to handle on the show tonight. Give y'all an opportunity in the chat right now to go ahead and plug it into the chat. Let me know what questions do you have, and I want to be able to answer those on the show tonight. All right? So go in the chat right now and put them in. Y'all come through tonight, all right? Come through tonight. All right, let me put this down. Dolphins ain't doing nothing else. This guy had a 44 PFF last year. Out of 189 linebackers, he was 173. Come on, man. Make it make sense. TD, any way we can hear the Baby Pigeon song this summer? I don't even think I still got that song, bro. I mean, this should be on the channel if I released it. But in my folder, because this is a different computer from when I made that song, I don't even think I got that song. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Hey, wasn't that like 4 years ago, bro? You talking about the Baby Pigeon song? Ain't that like 4 years ago? Man, you going way back. I don't even remember the song, but I remember the Baby Pigeon lyric. Man. All right, let me get these questions. Raphael said, read my last. Are waiting on Cater to make decision and on Needham. Yeah, I get it. Well, we'll see what they decide. How many games can Tua last? I can answer that now, man. Probability tell you he's going to give us 14. 14 games. If Jackson Dart is available at 13 or our second round pick, should the Fins select him? Jackson Dart, number 13 or second round? That's a good question. Do we trust Greer to get the draft right? Do we trust Greer to get the draft right? Number 3. Why do you think the Georgia safety over South Carolina safety? Why Georgia safety over Carolina safety? Malachi Stark's the guy, but I'll explain it tonight. I know Marino's GOAT. Biggest question I have is how many starters do you expect to draft? I like that. How many starters do we expect to draft? Love that question because that way I can bring out my chart. Should we cut bait on Tyreek after the draft for picks? Should we? And that means should we trade Tyreek? Because ain't no life of cutting him with the dead cap. Trade Tyreek after draft for picks. All right. If Miami win a Super Bowl, TD, are you making another baby? The answer is no. At least that ain't in the plan right now. Let me see what else we got. If Sanders falls to 13, do you think we take him? I love and hate that question at the same time. Do you read my X message about Greer abs draft? I haven't. I'll check it out, Glenn. Where Greer and his smirk fumbled the draft. We kind of got that. What should we do with Ramsey after this season? What to do with Ramsey after this season? All right, 3 more questions. Put them in the chat. TD, if Miami finishes last in the East, who gets fired first? All right, if Miami finishes last, who gets fired first? It's interesting. TD, you saw X on the dive bar last. Oh. Xavier Howard on Brian Flores. Yep, we definitely got to hit that. Matter of fact, let me put this in here too. Tom Brady interview while Tua at the club. LOL. All right, bonus question number 11. TD update on Tua hip and Tyreek hand. We got to talk about that too. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, Tua already on the injury report. Y'all do know an injury report just came out recently, right? You're supposed to, for the new league year, starting the new league year, the injury report comes out for every team with everybody you have and what their status. Tua already questionable. Oh, Lord Jesus. Tua already questionable. Man, oh man. Let me see. He said Donald's. I'm looking for Donald. Where's Donald? Where the homie at? Oh, Donald, there it is. Also, TD, do you believe the team can be successful if they go all in and select the defensive players DC Anthony Weaver needs for the system to be as Brian Flores? What say you? First of all, the going all in ship has sailed. I'll handle that now, Donald. The going all in ship has sailed. You had a chance to make some restructures and sign some players that's actually worth some money. The good ones. I don't think people have looked at this free agent pool out here. Ain't nothing out here. Ain't nothing. Let me see something. Let me go see something. Let me go check some stuff. I can't wait for TD to call for Zach to start. Whatever, man. All right, here we go. Dang, they don't have the age on here. All right, hold on. Give me a second. All right, here we go. Free agent type. All right, here we go. All right. Here we go. All right, I'm looking for a position of need, right? Position of need. Here we go. Brandon Scherf, guard, 33 years old. He's going to cost about $8 million. Matter of fact, let me do this too. Let me also go to the Miami Dolphins and see how much money we actually got. Take $10 million away for draft picks. Right now, I say we got $12 million. Right now, it says we got $12 million in cap space. $10 million going to draft picks. Now, remember, they're going to sign over the cap because all these guys ain't making a roster. They're going to sign more than the cap. They're going to be in the negative. We don't have no money. So let's go look at it. The available players. All right. Like I said, a guard, Brandon Sheriff at a position need. Free safety, Marcus Williams. Potential, gonna cost money. And I'm trying to stay away from the 30 plus year old players. James Bradbury, cornerback. Wonder how much he gonna cost? He 32, so I'm still messing in that area. Shaq Mason, the guard, 32. Never mind. See, it's everybody 30 available in the positions we need. Like I could Raekwon Davis, bring him back home. Maybe he got a little something left. He about to be 28. You probably get him on a good deal at the defensive tackle position. But do you view him as a starter? He may have to if Calais Campbell don't come back, but there you have it. Not to mention, we're not even talking about if Teron Armstead does come back, you got to figure out money for him. Which means they're waiting on that post-June 1st money to bring Armstead back if he does. So you ain't going to hear nothing from Armstead all summer. He under contract, for the little minimum. But right when that post-June 1st money come, they're going to rework the deal and give him his cash if he comes back. Same with Calais Campbell, but I think we're going to lose him, but we'll see. We shall see. Hold on. Let me see this too. Defensive tackle. Like, I ain't seen Calais Campbell on here. Where is Calais Campbell? Let me look Calais Campbell up because I thought he was an unrestricted free agent. And maybe I'm wrong on that. Let me see. Yeah, he's not on the roster. Then why isn't he listed as a free agent? I'm looking it up now. Here he is, Calais Campbell. Yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent. He is. So why is he not showing up under the available free agents? Yeah, confirmed. Unrestricted free agent and available players, free agent type, UFA. And we're going to go position as defensive line. Let's do that. Maybe he'll show up in here. Defensive line, Raekwon. Oh, there he is. Yep, there he is. And it's crazy. He only made $2 million in Miami, and Spotrac said he's going to get about $7 million in the open market. And Pittsburgh offered, the Chiefs offered. Some of the better teams offer him money, so he got a decision to make. Miami can't bring him back at 7, so we're gonna lose Calais Campbell. I'm fully convinced that we're gonna lose him. Still love your fandom though. I'm not gonna ish on the fans without donating though. Go Bills. Brew Crew Fishing, appreciate you, homie. New story dropped an hour ago. Miami has made a strong offer, source says. To who? Strong offer to who? This new story. Who is you talking about? Wow, look at these articles. Miami get a boost at inside linebacker. We were really gay. Yeah, on the run, you're gonna have to fill me in. On Campbell? Okay. Strong offer. Is it $7 million? Based off of the teams that give you the best chance to win, Miami is the least. Miami is the least. Competitive of the Chiefs. The Chiefs offered this man. Come on, man. Dolphins have standing offer on the table for Calais Campbell. I see the articles now that the Dolphins submitted an offer. And he contemplates his playing future. Yeah, I don't want to hear this offer. Tell me how much. Tell me how much. Tell me how much so I know if you're going to be able to snatch him from the other two teams offering $7 million. Yeah, we'll see. He is as good as gone. Yeah, the Bengals offering 2. We'll see. Somebody say it's 10. Hey, he a Dolphin. But I'll say this. If the goal is for you to win a Super Bowl, you don't take $10 million over 7 with a better team like the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Steelers. You don't take 10. But hey, money talks. If that's what he needs, money, that's a different story, but I don't think that's the case. He's made plenty in his NFL career. Here's the problem that the Dolphins face. Why Armstead and Calais are important. Here's why. They have too many starter holes. Let me elaborate. They need a starting guard. They just got one in free agency. Excuse me. And that's in James Daniels. He's injury prone. But they got one, but they need another starting guard. That's one starter. Armstead at left tackle, they need a starter if he's not back. They need a starting defensive tackle to replace Calais Campbell. They need a starting inside linebacker to go at Brooks. They need a starting they need a starting corner opposite Ramsey. They need at least one starting safety. Both of those guys we brought in, they both ain't starters. One's a backup. He might end up having to start, but they need a starter. That's the problem with Miami. From on the roster, from top to bottom, they need 6 starters right now. So miss me with you got to go in the draft. Okay, if you lucky, first and second round pick are starters. You still need 4. Calais comes back, that helps. You need 3. Armstead comes back, that helps. You still need 2. So we're going to bank on a 3rd rounder, a 4th rounder, a 5th rounder. Now we got to get lucky. And then that's if you hit on the 2nd rounder, if you hit on the 1st rounder. So don't even talk to me about depth. Don't even mention depth. We don't even know how we gonna get all the starters. So that also tells me some of this depth is gonna start. Some of this depth is gonna start. That's what it tells me. And if your depth starts, that means you really ain't got no depth. And it ain't the strongest starting group. That's what we're going to be dealing with, man. But thank y'all for giving me a heads up because, yes, you're right. I'm going to be late to the AFC's roundtable. So let me get over there. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Because I know I don't even think Dan and Richie going to make it tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check. But love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fans up no matter what. I'm coming back tonight to answer these questions. We're gonna chat it up. Y'all stay tuned. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Peace. I'm out.